So before we get started, I am aware that there is a spot up here, so I think up here somewhere. And that is not a dust on the lens. That is some kind of issue with the sensor of the camera. And so, I don't know. It's inside inner working something, nothing that I know how to fix. And unfortunately, it is going to be on the next Game Chasers episode because we shot with it before I realized it was even on there. But anyway, this is a video not about that. This is a video about the updates of the movie and of the Season 5 Blu-ray. So the movie right now is, of course, in post-production. So it's being edited. There's visual effects being created. There is music being created. There is audio cleanup being created, color grading being done. But on top of that, there's also pickup shots that need to get done. Pickup shots are things that you actually have to get post editing. So when you go down and you put everything together and start editing, you realize that certain things didn't translate well while they were filming. That may have sounded good on script, or other times there's just issues where something just doesn't connect as well as you thought it would on paper, and you have to go and not reshoot, but get extra footage to kind of make things make sense. And that's a very, very common thing. Every movie goes through it. Virtually every movie, if they give a damn. There may be tons of movies out there. I'm sure they don't care. They'll just slap anything together, but not here. We're gonna get everything that we need to get, and that includes fixing a few small issues, and then also adding some stuff that we didn't think was necessary at the time. But then I'm looking back and I'm saying, okay, this would be really, really good to get. And there's other circumstances where nothing. Sometimes it just doesn't even cross your mind until you get in there and editing, and you see point A to point B to point C, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this would be really good right here, like amazing right here. And so you're left with two choices: don't put it in, or go get it so you can make the movie better. I'm in the position right now where I want to make the movie better, so we're gonna go get it. And there's also a major issue with us with one of the days that we shot, and because this was shot in November, principal photography all through November, and there were some issues with a couple of days, but one in particular where the weather turned sour on us just at the drop of a hat, and everything that we're shooting was outdoors that day. And now, if you got a big budget, you can plan for makeup days, and virtually any like Hollywood budget movie can do that. They can go, okay, well, if it rains this day, we'll come back in at the end or whatever, and get what we need to get. Not us. We're fan funded, and we only have a certain amount to work with. We can't go over budget because we don't have the money. If we do go over budget, because movies go over budget all the time, but you have a big studio backing to okay, well, I don't like it, but here's a check. Well, we don't have that. What we have is what we have. So to pay an extra, all the crew, all the 15 crew members that we had on this thing, and actors and all that stuff, to say, hey, here's another day, is going to cost another thousands. So that wasn't an option at the time. So the idea was, hey, you know what? That's fine. We'll just throughout the year, 2020, springtime is what I was thinking. We can go back and we can get those shots. And the reason we had to wait till spring to do it was so we can kind of build up the funds a little bit more. Also another big time reason is because here in Texas, the leaves start falling off the trees late November and through December. So all the stuff that we shot in November, there were still leaves on the trees. Okay, so we couldn't shoot the stuff in December because it wouldn't match. Those shots would have no leaves on the trees, and then I'm trying to edit in a scene that has leaves in the trees, and so it'd be very, very what the hell. So through February and January, same issue, of course, obviously. But in March, boom. Around here in Texas, that's when the leaves start to come back. So the idea was in March, April, hey, we can go back and get those shots, and then boom, I might be set to release this thing in the summer if everything goes great. Obviously, nothing went great. This was 2020, so we all know what happened, and everything just pretty much got put on hold. So yes, the pandemic effed with the movie. It did. And then not surprising because it's effed with everything. So shocker, right? But in my position specifically, I've also lost 2 months out of the year where I couldn't do anything. And on a personal level, I'm not going to get too much into that. But at the start of all that in February, March, when all that stuff started going down, I have a 2-year-old, and so I wasn't taking any chances. I wasn't taking any chances. So normally, his mom, my wife, is military, so she was gone. So it was just me. So I'd taken to a babysitter. I could work. Well, once that happened, I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I just can't take any chances, right? So it was just me taking care of him. Kind of quarantined ourselves, right? And it was just me. And for all of you out there who have had to take care of a 2-year-old, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't do anything else. You can't do anything else. So any work that I got done was when he went to bed, and I may have like an hour or two at night before I just fall asleep at the computer. And then start the process over the next day. And then it got to the point where it was just, I was just so bummed out, defeated, because we're putting together our first movie here, and then this happens. I was so excited. Loved everything where I was seeing in post-production with the editing and all that. I was just so excited, so pumped with everything. I knew when we showed this thing, everyone was just going to go crazy for it. Yeah, the fans, a lot of you guys were going to absolutely love it. And then I'm sitting there. We have a premiere, the place that we could premiere this thing lined up, and then that happens. It's like just ripping your heart out, right? I even feel bad for even complaining about it because in my case, like there are people that have it 100 times worse. So I didn't bitch about it. I didn't complain about it. I didn't go on Twitter tirades about it or anything. But I assure you that inside I was just like, I was absolutely devastated. I'm like, it's our first movie, and I feel like it's just being ruined. You got to understand something here. Like I'm doing like the job of a team of people on the post-production of this movie. And the reason, we have, guys like Yoshi doing CGI that I can't do. I'm not capable of doing CGI. Guys like Martin, who is capable of doing the score, the music and score, and I'm not capable of doing that, outside of Christmas Robotica, of course. But pretty much everything else, I've delegated audio cleanup to our friend Robbie, who worked on the movie. But everything else, like compositing, sky replacements, just general editing, Foley, just everything else that you can think of. And trust me, there's a lot. There's so much that goes into this. I've had to do. It's because we can't afford to delegate that. Joe will be doing a lot of the sound mixing near the end, but we're not to that point right now. So you have to understand, like this isn't a YouTube video. This isn't like one person can do everything. So I can handle a lot of the stuff. It's just it takes a while. So when it came to the pickup shots, it felt like every time we were wanting to go back and do it, there was like a spike in the stupid virus and stuff. And so we were like, okay, well, we can't ask people to come out and do that now. Okay, we can't ask people to come out and do that now. Let's just wait. Let's see what it's like 2 months from now. And then 2 months would come, and then, okay, well, let's see what it's like 2 months from now. And it just got to the point where it's like, okay, well, screw it. I mean, we just got to give people the opportunity if they want to come out and redo their scenes and the actors I'm talking about and a few of the crew members, because we're working on a skeleton crew at this point with the pickup shots. It is what it is. So just try to stay safe as possible, and that's it. So we are in the process of doing that right now. And I'm scrambling to do it because this is November, and we need to get it done this month to match everything else. And I'm happy because yesterday we went out and got some major pickup shots, and everything looked great. I was so happy with everything that we got. I wish that I could show it, but I can't because unfortunately a lot of what we got is the climax of the movie. So you probably won't even see a lot of that in the trailer because it might give away too much, the official trailer. But trust me when I say it was amazing. I still occasionally look at the clips on my phone and just sit there and laugh for a good solid minute. Another pickup shot that we got, we're doing like special effects and stuff right now. Is a lot of the pickup shots that we're getting currently, and I'll actually show you this right now. It's super cool, but we actually drove to Colorado to get some of the pickup shots because the movie takes place in Colorado, and for authenticity, we wanted to get some of the shots that we needed to get them in Colorado. So that's what we did. That's why we were able to shoot that Toy Chasers episode, and we shot a Game Chasers episode up there as well. We figured, why not kill 3 birds with one stone? But so this monstrosity right here is one of the big reasons why we had to go to Colorado, because this is the car in the movie. You saw this in the trailer. Not this particular one, but the full-size one. The full-size one died on us. It is toast. The engine went out on us. First day of shooting, by the way. So Murphy's Law on that. But this is a replica, miniature. And this was built by Paul Steves, who did this exact type of work of miniatures and stuff with movies like Fifth Element and Avatar. This is super cool. Remote controlled, so you can see it's just, you can see all the inner workings right there. All custom built, so this is not like a kit that you can go out and buy. This is all he put together: the suspension, the chassis, the mechanics, all that he put together, customized. I guess he call it like kit meshing. I don't know what you call it, but he basically had to go and buy the parts and put it all together and design it because he has to match it to the actual 3D printed shell to make it match perfectly the actual real car. Headlights light up. It is amazing, and the sucker actually gets up to 60 miles an hour. What's really super cool is it's like an actual car. It's hard to tell right here because we kind of destroyed it, by the way. But it's on an actual suspension, so when it hits and jumps and stuff, it actually looks like an actual car because of the suspension and the shocks. But we needed to have this for stunt work. It was a necessity because some of the things we wanted to do we couldn't do with the actual car, and I'll leave it at that. But this is it turned out great. I might do some like still shots, not of the actual action part, but some of the other shots of the car. It doesn't look like a toy when you're on camera. Because the trick to shooting miniatures like this and making them look realistic is to have them this size. When you have a model that's this size, of course it's going to look like a toy. But this size is very common in movies to pass off a miniature as looking realistic. So you get the right angle, forced perspective, lighting with this type of model, you would not know it was fake. In fact, I'm kind of almost regretting even showing you guys this and letting you guys know we made a model, because otherwise you would have thought we did the actual stuff that we did with this with the actual car, which would have been funny. That was not cheap to get made at all, but it was necessary because, like I said, we had to do certain things that we just couldn't do with the actual car. We're just, that's the process right now. We are in the process of just getting stunt shots, pickup shots, establishing shots little close-ups of here of things that happen in scenes that I need. Oh, you know what? I need a close-up, so we got to go kind of recreate that scene and then get a close-up. And it's a lot of work to put into like a day of shooting just to get a close-up, but it's necessary. Those things are necessary, and when the final product, when you see it, you're not gonna know those little things. You know, when you see a shot that's in the middle of a sequence, it's the close-up of something, you're not going to think to yourself, oh, well, you know, they spent all that extra time going out and getting that extra shot, and spending all day going and getting that extra shot. You're not going to know, because it's going to be seamlessly in there. You're not going to think anything of it. But there's throughout this entire movie, there's stuff that's spread out through this entire thing that like I said, when you get into editing, you're like, okay, this would be so much better if we had this. And that goes with pretty much every movie you watch, unless you're watching stuff like Suburban Sasquatch or something like that. Pretty much every mainstream movie that you see, it's the same thing. You're gonna have a lot of shots like that. So that's the process. That's what it is. We shot a lot in November, but I knew that it would be at least another week and a half of shooting, just spread out, not straight, but like here a day, here a day, here a day, here a day there, and coordinating everybody to be on the same day when the weather is matching. And that's proven to be one of the biggest headaches, because a lot of this movie was filmed when it was cloudy, overcast, with drizzle. And so you have to shoot the extra stuff on that same day. So you have to trust that the weather man is going to be right. And when he says, 5 days from now, it's going to be that type of a day, you have to either roll the dice and say, hey, everybody, mark your calendar, we're going out this day, and then go out and it's not like that. Or you have to just wait till the day before, where it may be more clear or not, or whether or not it's going to be like that, and then just hope that everybody can just at the drop of a hat be there the next day. So that is a nightmare, and that's one of the biggest nightmares of this pickup shot, if not the biggest, is just the coordinating everybody with the weather. So anyway, that's the movie. If everything goes swimmingly, I'm hoping by late spring, early summer. That would be amazing. And if I don't know if things go super, super, super great, who knows, maybe early spring. But that's where we're at. And anyway, now I'm going to move on to the Blu-rays. I will be the first to admit that I am very, very bad when it comes to estimating the amount of work that I'm going to be putting into something. And it seemed like I do that every year, and I never learn from my mistakes. I think I learned, but then it turns out I didn't. And what I mean by that is, it seems like I always overestimate like how soon the Blu-rays are always going to come out. I gave myself till the end of the year when the Indiegogo went up, and that would have been pushing it. It may still have been possible, but it would have been pushing it. It's certainly not going to happen now, because I've lost those 2 months, like I just talked about in the previous segment. Which that's all on me, and I apologize. The only thing I can actually sit here and do is say, I hope that you find it in your heart to forgive me for saying something is going to be out at the end of the year and it's not going to be out at the end of the year. I apologize. And I just, there's so much, there's 7 discs in this thing, and I should have known better. I should have known better, because this is one of the big reasons why I do underestimate how much work is going to get into it, is because I end up biting off more than I can chew, and I will see something and initially think that I'm not going to do that, but then once I get in, my creative and perfectionist issues just rear their ugly heads, and I'm like, okay, I got to do that. I have to do that. I have to do that now. And I end up doing way more than what I originally was going or planning on doing. 7 discs through this entire thing. I'm not counting season 4, because they've pretty much gone through this process, but the season 1, 2, and 3, which have never been released on Blu-ray, and obviously season 5 as well, have never been through this process that, well, I'm about to actually explain right here, is, so I'm not taking, and this is what I originally thought I was going to do, and this is why it's taking longer. Is because I originally thought, oh, you know what? I'm not talking about season 5. Season 5 still has to go through everything, but like on the old season 1, 2, and 3, which I've already put to DVD. All I have to do is take those old episodes that are already been edited for a DVD and export them in HD, because they're edited in HD and they're shot in HD. They are down converted to standard definition whenever I put them to DVD. But if I export them as HD, boom, I could put them on the Blu-ray. And I'm like, well, that's not going to take long. That'll take like a day to render all like season 1 DVD, season 1 Blu-ray episodes. It'll just take like a day. And then obviously I have to kind of relink them to a new, the old project, and convert the old project to a Blu-ray. Again, that's easy. You can do that. You can take the old, in Encore, which is what I use to master these things, you can take the old DVDs projects and convert them to Blu-ray. The only problem is, and it's my fault for not knowing this, because I've never done this before. I should have done my research. But you can't, while you can convert it to Blu-ray or switch it to Blu-ray, once you can't, the old menus stay in standard definition. And for those of you who have seen the Blu-ray, seen the DVDs, you know all the animations that I make for the DVDs, they would stay standard definition, even though I made them in HD. So that's not good. That's not good. I knew that I wouldn't want to watch it. Like if you're putting in a Blu-ray, even if the episodes are still in HD, you want the menus to be HD as well. You don't want standard definition. It's going to look trashy and lazy, is what it's going to look like. So I can't do that. So I decided, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to create every one of these author them from scratch. So that's what I've had to do. Season 1, disc 1, I've had to redo from scratch. 2, 3, all of them, all from scratch. All the menus from scratch, because for some stupid reason, I made the menus HD on the DVDs, even though they get converted to standard. And I'm sorry, I'm getting all this technical mumbo jumbo, and I know I'm losing so many of you, but I still have to explain it, because this is what's going on, so I have to explain it. Those HD menus get down converted to standard definition, but I know I make everything in HD anyway, to basically future-proof myself. Unfortunately, I was a dumb ass, and the HD that I actually mastered those menus in was 720 and not 1080. And you can notice a difference, because I mastered them out and put them on the TV, and you can notice a difference between the 720 and the 1080. So I was like, okay, well, can't do that. So now I've had to rebuild all those animations on all those menus on all those discs in 1080p. Now, thankfully, I don't have to do like actual redraw everything, but I still have to. Well, not in all cases anyway, but I do, for the most part, have to reconstruct and reanimate and re-render all those menus in 1080 HD, and that takes forever. That takes a long time, and then beyond that, the episodes. As I was saying, I was like, okay, I could just take the episodes that are already been edited for DVD, and I can just render them out as HD Blu-rays, and I'll be fine. But then, this is where my obsessive compulsive disorder, I don't know what you'd call it, perfectionism, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'm like, well, the green screen doesn't really look that good here when viewed in HD. Let me tweak that. Oh, let me tweak the color grading on this, because I've literally not opened this project in 5 years, and I'm much better at color grading now than I was 5 years ago. So let me tweak some things here. And before you know it, I've spent all day remastering the entire episode. No, I said I was going to remaster them, obviously, but that means remaster, like re-render them in HD. I've gone way beyond remastering. I've gone recolor grading, fixing issues with green screens, with lighting on some things, which maybe really goes in hand in hand with color grading, but sound, music levels, just way more than I thought I was going to, because I thought when I edited these for the DVDs, I thought there was like, okay, these are the definitive versions or whatever. But then I got in 5 years later from a fresh set of eyes and like, okay, there's a lot more here that can be fixed. And so I started fixing them. So that's what I'm doing every episode. Every episode is being redone essentially. And that's why it's, so I'm talking like I'm doing all that stuff with the movie, one-man job, outside of music and CG, and audio cleanup, and then a one-man job, literally just me with all the mastering and authoring and re-editing of about 40 to 45 episodes in 7 discs. And editing Game Chasers and Toy Chasers, and then just other regular videos, Top Out Fridays, anything. And then try to still be able to spend time with my family. So the bottom line is, no, they're not going to be done by the end of this year, unfortunately. But the good news is, I have pretty much got season 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3 done. Now I'm finishing up, about halfway done on season 5. I'm finishing up certain things and like all the actual episodes and stuff. Now I just need to shoot the bonus stuff. I don't know, my brain's fried. But the point is, it's not like they're not close to getting done. They're not too terribly far off. As with the movie, it's not too terribly far off, even though I know it feels like we've all been waiting forever on both of these things. They are being worked on. They will 100% come out in 2021. So I know that's good news for a lot of you people who are probably looking on this year and just ready for it to be done, have something to look forward to. But yes, 2021. And my goal is the first quarter, but at least the first half of 2021 for both. And it does, the more I'm thinking about it, the more it honestly kind of makes more sense to have the Blu-rays and your movie Blu-ray kind of just arrive at the same time. And, unless there's going to be like a huge gap in between when they release, which I don't know, if the Blu-rays get done, like just boom, they're done in January or whatever. And I know the movie's going to be another 3 months away or something. And sure, yeah, we'll go ahead and release the Blu-rays. But if they're really close, like within a month of each other, you might as well just, you get your package and boom, you have I've said boom like 20 times in this video. But you get your package and you have all your seasons and you have your movie and you have your weekend set, right? So think that would probably work best for everyone. And just to assure that you get the best quality of everything. So that's what I do. Try to give you guys the best quality on everything that we do. And this is why it sometimes takes longer than what I initially think it's going to take. So apologies for those of you who have been waiting. Let's just get this year over with. Start 2021 way better with lots of Game Chasers material for you guys. Thank you guys for all the support and your patience, and wish happy holidays and all that good stuff to you. Stay safe, and we will see you with big stuff in 2021. I feel like I'm ending the year on this video. This isn't an end of the year video, but I feel like I'm making it that way for some reason. No, we got a new episode of Game Chasers this month, probably. So stay tuned for that.